Have you ever been thinking about how we negotiate today compared to how we negotiated in 1850 or 1900 or 1725? We haven't really developed that much. Obviously, our technology involved in negotiating has evolved a lot, but the actual way we negotiate and conduct business with each other is basically the same. Now, one of my clients, Blue Culling in Denmark, has actually created this drawing up here, where you can see the soldiers that are sitting in the ditch pointing the rifle towards each other. And that is very much how we negotiated in 1850, and it's basically how we negotiate today. That means we are winning at the cost of the counterpart. So if I'm having progress, it's happening at the expense of the counterpart, and if the counterpart is creating progress, it's happening at my expense. Now, my big question to the world is, how come we don't change that approach into negotiation? Why don't we change that way of thinking? Now, the small drawing up here shows two donkeys, and the two donkeys are actually tempted by some food on each side. So instead of working together, as you can see in the top, they're just dragging. And obviously, they're equally strong, so none of them are actually winning. Now, if one of them was stronger than the other, that donkey would win at the expense of the other donkey. But in this case, neither of them are actually stronger than the other one. So they just keep fighting here and keep pulling. And at one point, the two donkeys, believe it or not, are actually intelligent enough to sit down and start thinking about how can we work together. And then they kind of figure out, why don't we just share the exercise? How can we just share one pile of food, eat that, and then afterwards go to the other pile of food and eat that? You may think that this thing up here is kind of funny, but what is really scary is that in real life, we have a lot of negotiations that actually works the same way. Zero sum all the way down here and smartership down here at the very end. Now, my challenge is that very often people move, if they get a little bit more advanced, they move from zero sum into partnership. And then they think that is the best possible solution. But partnership is basically a bit like this drawing here. So if you remember the previous one where we had the soldiers in the ditch pointing the rifle towards each other, in this case, they are now just doing a circle ditch. So that means they're still sitting in this ditch, but now they're just pointing the rifle towards each other, and they believe they have made improvement. But the real improvement is really coming from the point where they point the rifle outwards. That means not pointing the rifle towards each other, because by pointing the rifle outwards, we're actually looking at values that could be generated without putting a cost on the counterpart. And that is the cost of necroeconomics. Because if we can utilize variables that identify a value in between the two parties, you can mutually generate a value and winning, but not at the expense of the counterpart.